What's going on, everybody? My name is Eli, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is long overdue. However, it's a video that I can make every year and it would still be relevant. So for those of you that don't know, the ADEA AADSAS, which is the dental school application, just opened up around, I believe, May 12th was the first day it opened. The way that the application for dental schools work is that the application opens on around the middle of May, and it's open for a full month before you can actually submit, the first day that you can actually submit the application. So a few people have reached out to me about certain parts of the application, what they should do for different sections, how many experiences they should include for the experience section, etc. And I decided that I would just make a YouTube video and have you guys fill out the application with me. Obviously, I'm not going to be going through every single part of the application and what I would enter, but I will go through the application, stop at the points that I think are a little difficult to understand, or people have asked me questions about, or that I think frequently get questions. Parts of the application that I think are frequently questioned. And hopefully those of you who are struggling with different parts of the application find this video helpful. I know that there are some parts that are a little unclear, and hopefully I can help clear those parts up for you guys. So come fill out the AADSAS with. Before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel, my name is Eli. I just finished my first year of dental school at Boston University, Henry M. Goldman School of Dental Medicine. On this channel, I vlog my dental school journey, as well as make videos with advice for pre-dental students, like this video, and just other kinds of videos revolving the topic of dentistry. So please consider subscribing to my channel. Leave this video a like or comment under the video if you're enjoying the content. Share the video with anyone you think may need it, your classmates, your fellow pre-dents at your undergrad school, and help the channel grow. So without further ado, let's get into the video and fill out the ADEA AADSAS. So for this video, I'm going to be including a screen recording of my laptop screen, and it'll be right here for the entirety of the video so you guys can see what I'm looking at on my laptop as I explain to you the different parts of the AADSAS. So first thing you're gonna see here is me signing in. This is the same sign in that I used years ago when I was applying to dental school. It still has my stuff up in the corner. All right, so now that we have that fixed, let's go over to the application. So my application, first section you see in the top left is personal information. This is probably one of the sections that I'm not gonna be going through what you should enter for every single line, but you have the agreement statements first. You agree to applying to dental school, etc. Next, you put your biographic information, name, sex, gender, birth information, where you were born, etc. Contact information, you put your home address, phone number, email. Citizenship information, goes without saying, you put your citizenship, or whether you're a permanent resident, etc. Whether you have dual citizenship, and then your state. It's basically just like background check type of information. Now here are one of the sections of the personal information section that can get tricky, the environmental factors section. So this first line that you guys see here is probably one of the most questioned sections of the AADSAS. It asks your disadvantage consideration. Should you be considered a disadvantaged applicant? Refers specifically to social, economic, and/or educational factors when making a determination. Reference the NIH criteria for disadvantaged background. So that's new. When I was filling out the AADSAS in 2020, they did not have that last line reference the NIH criteria for disadvantaged background. Therefore, a lot of people were wondering, is being a minority considered disadvantaged to the AADSAS? What were they considering? So this is actually the first time that I'm gonna click this link and see what the NIH criteria for a disadvantaged background is. An individual is considered to be from a disadvantaged background if he or she meets 2 or more of the following criteria: were or currently are homeless, were or currently are in the foster care system, were eligible for federal free and reduced lunch program for 2 or more years, have or had no parents or legal guardians who completed a bachelor's degree, were or currently are eligible for federal Pell Grants, received support from the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children as a parent or child, or grew up in one of the following areas: a U.S. rural area as designated by the Health Resources and Service Administration, Rural Health Grants Eligibility Analyzer, okay, or a Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services designated low income and health professional shortage areas. And I believe this link allows you to click and see what areas are considered a low income or health professional shortage area. It has you download Excel sheet. Okay, so that's the first time I'm seeing that. That makes it a lot easier to clear-cut answer whether you come from a disadvantaged background or not. I believe on my application, I put I was from a disadvantaged background. They didn't have clear-cut criteria, but I put that. It asks you about your family situation. It asks you about your high school, and I remember, yeah, your childhood residency as well. So it asks you what kind of area you grew up in. Are you from a city? Are you from a suburban area, rural area, etc.? And then it asks you about your high school. How many seniors from your high school graduated? How many seniors from your high school went to college? So they're really trying to get some background information on you and learn as much as they can about how you grew up and life before college. So it also asks you about information about your parents or guardians. I think I entered this section, but it does not require you to. It asks you about your race and ethnicity, and then it asks you for other information like your DENT PIN for, you know, they can retrieve your DAT scores, etc. Military information if you're in that, etc. They still have this COVID-19 impact statement. I didn't know if this would still be here, but you know, COVID-19 had a tremendous impact on the people who applied during my application cycle because schools and basically the whole world had just shut down 2 months before the application opened for my application cycle. So we were all transitioning and taking classes online. Things were a little more difficult, and this was your chance to explain, you know, the changes in your grades or your mental health or anything that may have been affected by COVID. So I didn't know that this would still be here, but I'm glad it is. Education interruption. Did you have to take a break from school because of COVID? Did your academic performance drop significantly because of COVID? Military service interruption. Has your education been interrupted because of military services? So, you know, there are people who don't have the traditional journey to dental school, and so this allows them to put different things. Here's a section we can talk about: manual dexterity. Describe any activities requiring manual dexterity at which you are proficient. So I think in this section, I definitely put playing sports. Grew up playing basketball, played lacrosse, played football. I definitely put playing video games. And some people may call that unprofessional, but I don't know something that requires better hand-eye coordination than sports and video games. I mean, even here in the examples that they give you, it says activities requiring hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills such as stitching, sewing, arts, crafts, playing musical instruments, auto repair, etc. So you could put anything you want, just make it make sense. And then it asks if you're a first generation college student. So now we can move on to the academic history section of the application. We really don't have to run through this too much. It asks you to put your information for your high school that you attended. You really just search up your high school and add it. Colleges and university attended. So as you can see, they have University of Maryland College Park and my transcript still in here from when I applied. And then George Mason University, where I did my post-bacc program, and my official transcript is still in here from when I applied. Then they have you manually enter everything that's on the official transcript that they just asked for. So they try to, or I don't know if they still have it, but, oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if they still have it, but they try to offer you this service where you can pay like $10 to have to have them automatically populated. I personally was being cheap and I did it myself. I understood that there was a risk of messing some things up, but it turned out to be fine. And I really do not see how big of a deal it is when they already have your official transcript. I don't understand why they want you to manually type in every class you took and every grade you got when it's already on an official paper that you had to pay money for. So then they ask you for your standardized test. They ask you to manually enter your DAT scores. When you took the DAT, put in your DEN pin, basically everything that you already gave them. So that's how you do that. Supporting information section. Take a water break. Shit. So in the supporting information section, this is where your evaluation requests go when you're sending a request to your professors to write a letter of recommendation. You put in their email and the application will send them an automatic email. They write your letter and send it back and it's in your application. Experiences. So I actually received a DM about the experience section on the AADSAS. What's too much, what's too little, what is relevant, etc. Honestly, I put everything I've ever done on here. I put intramural basketball from undergrad on here. Charles Drew, Pre-Health Society, E-Board, Alpha Phi Alpha, SMDP or SHPEP, everything. I put everything on there. Don't skip anything. If it's even in the smallest relevant, even in the smallest relevancy, just put it on there. Achievements. Did you receive any kind of awards in undergrad? Were you magna cum laude? I don't know. Just achievements. If you were elected to anything, I would probably put it on here as well. I think I put like, I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't remember for this, but any type of achievements. Did you go to a conference and win best poster award or something like that? Put it on there. Licenses, I didn't put anything on here, but you know, I do have classmates that are licensed dental assistants, dental hygienists, etc. Then the last section is for your personal statement. What I generally recommend is that you do your personal statement in Microsoft Word. Once you do your personal statement in Microsoft Word, then you can move on to get the grammar check, etc. You can use Microsoft Word to send it to someone to review, anything like that. Once you have everything done and use Grammarly as well, then you can copy and paste it into here. And remember that you have a 4,500 character limit. So make sure you're checking the character limit in your Microsoft Word when you're writing your personal statement. And then the last part is program materials, which essentially depends on where you're applying. So once you add whatever schools you want to apply to your application, so for example, I'm going to put Boston University. Okay, so I'm going to add Boston University. Once you add schools, yeah, not paying that fee right now. Continue to application. Then your program materials section will begin to populate. So there's going to be a different one for each school. I only added one school, BU, so I'm going to click on this one. And BU doesn't ask, oh yes they do. Okay, questions. You and GSDM, what makes Goldman School of Dental Medicine a good fit for your dental education? As a dental student, how will you contribute to the school community? And then it gives you an 800 character limit to write basically why you want to go to Boston University. And it's pretty similar for every school. Some schools will have nothing. Some schools will have a few questions. Some schools will have different kind of tests. I forget what it's called. But you know, some schools have like essentially an ethics test that they make you take in order to apply and be interviewed at their school. I forget the name of the test, but also, as you can see in this section, it says prerequisites, and you have to assign whatever course that was in your transcript entry to these prerequisites. So did you take a biology with lab? Yes, then you would assign the course that you want to put there, and I would put my general biology class from freshman year. Did you take biochemistry? I would add my biochemistry class from undergrad or grad school. I think I added both, general chemistry, orgo, physics, calculus, because different schools have different different prerequisites. Some schools will require, you know, just a basic math, science, etc. BU required that you took calculus in college, so you have to add calculus. So that's going to prevent you from applying to some schools. I mentioned in a previous video, there was a school that I wanted to apply to that required that you knew Spanish and took a Spanish class. There was a school that I wanted to apply to that required that you took a psychology class in undergrad. There's schools that require sociology classes in undergrad. So if those are prerequisites that you don't have, then you can't apply to that school, or you will waste money applying to that school if you don't have all the prerequisites. So once you're done with all that, you go to submit your application, you pay your fees. I see that it's now $264 for the first school, which means it's probably still around like $159 for each additional school you apply to. And you know, applying to around 10 schools can cost you well over probably around like $1,000 to $1,300. And then every school has another supplemental fee that they're going to email you about. So if you're applying to dental school, I hope you saved around $2,000, because I mean, unless you're applying to only 2 or 3 schools, it does get pretty costly. Other than that, once you're done, this last tab allows you to check your status, application status in progress. But once you submit your applications, it will say submitted. Once they get your application, it will say under review. And then the decision status will come once you actually get accepted or denied or waitlisted at the school. So that is filling out the AADSAS with me. Personally, I don't think it is too complicated of a process, but you do want to take your time. That's why they give you a whole month before anybody can submit it. The playing field is even. The earlier you submit your application, the better. And for everyone submitting their application and applying to dental school this year, I hope you're applying to BU, and good luck with your applications. Please feel free to leave a comment under this video if there's anything that is still unclear to you. I respond to every comment under every video. You guys know that if you've ever commented before. Also, while I do love that you guys DM me questions, I would really appreciate if you commented them under the video, because there are other people with the same questions as you, and it does get repetitive to respond to everybody that has the same questions. So if you do have a question, leave a comment under the video. I will answer it under the video. That way everyone can see your question and the response. You're not alone. There's no such thing as a dumb question. And I know you guys have questions and want to make sure you submit a good application. So without further ado, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share this video with anyone you think may need it, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.